Hi there guys, DCRS here, and today I'll be doing a discussion video for Duel Links. Haven't done this before, so yeah, this is going to be a brief discussion. Well, not really brief, but it's more to do with what packs you should get, and also depending on what you want, you can decide for yourself. But it's also more for PvP and also anything that's meta relevant. So anyway, as you can see, I've did a bit of redecorating and for my recording, and yeah, I moved a bit of stuff and I took away the face cam because I didn't really need that at the time. So yeah. Anyway, on to the discussion. Let's go into the store. Now, as you can see here, there's plenty of different packs and boxes of what you can select from. The one on the left for these ones are actually the main boxes. These ones on the right are actually the mini boxes, which means that they have less cards in them than the usual regular booster boxes, which is around, I think, 200 packs if I'm correct. And this one mostly has about I'd say about 100. Let me double check. Which one haven't I bought much from? I got 15 that one. That doesn't matter. It's around half the size of the actual box, I think. But anyway, we have your own structured. We have the structure decks, the Dragonic Force, the Sorcerer's Alliance, Hero Rising, and Legendary Warriors, and other items which you can also buy as well, but it costs real money. But the structure decks you can actually purchase normally for gems. Like you only need 500 gems for each one, and I'll discuss on which ones is good and which one's bad. For these ones, for this one, the peak performance one, it goes well with peak performance. But most of these cards are really like, they're not necessary because it's more of a, I don't know, it depends because you can use some for text and stuff, but it's not really meta relevant. At the moment, dragons aren't really doing that much, so you should probably leave that alone for the moment until dragons do kick up. If they do kick up, then you should probably pick that up, this one up, depending on what you want. The Sorcerer's Alliance one, there's not really much here that is useful, other than probably Neo, which is 1700 beat stick in a way. This one's not as good. This one's actually not that bad. It's really, actually not bad in terms of farming. Some decks actually use this for farming as well. This card, I mean. But other than that, it's not really that needed. You could probably like pick one of these up or two of these up, depending how many gems are allowed. So you're only allowed to purchase one with 500 gems. Yeah, there's not really that much in this one besides the Book of Secret Arts. But other than that, it's like this one's kind of okay if you use it with the Birthright card that recently came out, a new mini box. So yeah, this one's kind of in par with Dragonic Force. It depends on when you use it. So other than that, it's not really that good. As for the hero one, if playing on making heroes, you only need one of these, and it's actually a really good structure deck, or trial deck, or however you want to call it. But because this one comes with Blazeman. Blazeman is probably one of the best heroes that you can get at the moment with, as I made a video before, Blazeman Beatdown, or Neo Speeddown in a way. It's interesting with Necroshade. And you also get 2 Polymerization, which is really good for 500 gems, because this card, at the beginning of the, when you first sign up and stuff, you don't really get that many options for cards. So when you first start, you probably get like at least 1 Polymerization, if I'm correct, with Joey. I don't know, I can't remember how things started, but you only get 1 Polymerization. For 500 gems, you get 2 more Polymerizations. It's actually a really good deal. I recommend getting this for anyone that actually is new, because this is really it's really good. I like it. It also comes with free heat on right when you get the box, so it's really good for a Blazeman Beatdown. So pretty much if you're making a start in Duel Links, I recommend this starter deck. It's really good, or structure deck, or however you want to call it. And yeah, it's really good. Also, it comes with 2 of these, which boosts your elemental heroes by 500. It's not that bad, and also comes with fusion recovery, which is pretty good, decent, I guess. Not the best, but it's decent. Also comes with hero barrier as well. For the other one, the last one of the structure decks, this one's the Legendary Warriors, and comes with Joey skill, Fields of the Warriors. I think you get this when you buy the structure deck. I can't remember. Oh, I don't know. It's because of the current what's it called, the event that's going on at the moment. I think it's still going on. I don't know. Depending on when you watch this video, it might not be there anymore. So yeah, it's actually not bad for a structure deck. It comes with this one DD Warrior, which is really good. I recommend this card if you're planning on building a warrior deck in general, because with Field of Warriors, it's actually not that bad. With Marmoting Captain, sorry, this card is actually really good. Because one reason is when it's this card's normal summon, you can shuffle one card from your hand into your deck, so pretty much a dead card in your hand, and shuffle back and draw one card. If that's a monster card, you special summon it. This is really good. I recommend this one. It's probably one of the best structure decks you can actually buy at the moment for gems. For real money, you can buy if you want, but if you just play free to play, just doing gems, this one's actually pretty good. And it comes with 3 of these: X-Saber, Anu, Piranha. If you have the Field of Warriors field spell, or the skill I should say, it comes with the field spell Sogen. This becomes a 2000 beat stick, so it's really good. So yeah, you get a free 1800 beat stick right out of the 500 gem box, which is really good if you mix it up with the Element Hero one as well. You can actually mix this with the Element Hero one, and you can actually make a really good hero warrior deck in a way. Anyway, those are the structure decks. Onto the actual main booster boxes. If I can click on it. Now, what you should be chasing after for the booster packs, if you're planning on getting this one, the Ultimate Alliance one, Ultimate Rising, sorry, Ultimate Alliance is a different thing. The ones I would recommend you picking up, if you're making ritual decks, Sonic Bird is probably a must if you're planning on getting it. Also, if you're playing meta-wise, Sphere Kuriboh is probably one of the best cards you can pull from this. I recommend getting packs just to get this specific card in general. Hardon's alright in a perspective type of way, but other than that, it's okay. Fusion Gate's also pretty good as well, and also Magic Jammer. Some people run Magic Jammer in PvP, some don't. It's weird because you rarely see Magic Jammer being played in PvP, but it's seenable. It's seenable. It's bad choice of words. It's rarely seen, but it's used. It's also used in PvP. But not all the time. As we have other cards, let's see here. Ordered Charge is also one of the really good cards if you're making dinosaurs or vanilla based beatdown. It's one of the best cards you can actually get. I recommend getting at least 2 to 3 of these if you're playing and making dinosaurs or anything like that. So this is probably one of the recommended booster boxes if you are a beginner, because it comes with Sphere Kuriboh, which is probably one of the best cards you will play in PvP, because most decks, or 90% of the decks, I'm not too sure if it's 90% or probably about 80% or 70% depending, actually use Sphere Kuriboh in 1s to 3s depending how budget wise you have in your gems stack. So yeah, other than this, what other good cards? Clowns are also not bad, because if you're making Dream Clown Control, that's it. If you're making Clown Control, this is probably the best way to start things off. So you can get Dream Clown and also Crash Clown in this, like there, because with the control, if you play stuff like, I don't know, what's the one that switches battle positions? I think it's called Desert Sunlight. That one changes all your monsters from attack position to defense position, and if you have a Dream Clown field, you can destroy one monster in the field. It's a mandatory effect as well. So yeah, it's really good if you pull that from, I don't know if it's this set or it's an L set. I think it's an L set, but yeah, probably you can make a lot of different interesting stuff with this Ultimate Rising box. And yeah, also comes with Trap Jammer, which is probably a good card if you're making. No, it's good for PvP somehow, and also you can use it for. Sometimes it's used for farming as well, because let's see, Kyber uses, if you planning on farming Kyber, Trap Jammer is also used in this. Also, people use anti magic arrows, but that's the event card. But there's no way to get it normally, and you just use Trap Jammer in this. So there's a lot of good cards in this. For also comes with ready for incepting, so you don't have to actually buy the trial deck. Structure deck as well, so you can actually get it from there as well. So yeah, it's an interesting set. This one comes with alright. It's pretty good stuff as well. Yeah, also comes with Enchanted Javelin as well, which is really nice card if you're planning on farming or stuff, depending on I don't know. So it's used in PvP as well, but as for other types of things, you don't really see as much. It's only used for certain decks or certain matchups in a way, I guess you could say. But that's it for the Ultimate Rising. For Age of Discovery, let's see. Michizuru is actually not that bad. It's actually a really good card. In terms of PvP play, it's a surprising card used in PvP play. And what else is there? Not really that much, but it's pretty good in terms of actually getting this. It's probably a one-off. I wouldn't say a two-off because you rarely get the second one off. Oh, you probably can, but you don't really want to draw it as often. So probably a one-off is kind of right. And also Needle Sunfish. I don't have this card yet, but Needle Sunfish is actually a good card if you're making water, like Mako fish deck. It's actually really good in terms of making opponents' monster lose a 500 stack. It can actually help you during the long run, but it's actually not bad. If you're making a fish deck, I recommend it, including with Yomi Ship as well. Yomi Ship is probably another recommended card if you're planning on making a fish deck, the Mako deck. What else is there that's good in this? I'm just picking up the cards that you would normally see and stuff. Also, yeah, Starboy is another one as well. You can get for fish deck. It's not bad. It's pretty good if you're making pretty much a beatdown. Hammer Shark beatdown. Man, that was hard to say for some reason. Hammer Shark beatdown is the only way to get Hammer Shark is from the card trader, and until you lock it when you're on, I think you're level stage 8 or so. I think that's when you lock it, or stage 20. I can't remember. It's one of the above, one of the beforehand. But yeah, Starboy is probably one of the needed cards you need for fish deck. If you're making a Hammer Shark beatdown, this box is definitely for you because it comes with a whole bunch of water type support that you might need. Speaking of water support, Leviathan Dragon. This card's rarely seen in Mako decks because it's not consistent, but if you run it with Moray Greed, it's actually pretty consistent. So yeah, that's oh yeah, speaking of Moray Greed, you actually get it in this box, so yeah, really good. Onto Neo Impact. Oops. For this box, it's not that bad, but the only things you would mostly focus on if you're playing Rituals, Senju is probably one that you would recommend picking up. This card's not bad in terms of balance control, depending on when balance gets changed. I think it's next month. Half Shot's not bad. It's pretty good for defending your monsters that you set, because you can actually activate this during the damage step, so it's really good. Step Instruction is also a really nice card if you're playing and making dragons, because it's a free spell trap destruction and also inflicts 500 points of damage to your opponent. It actually does matter in the long run, because during the end game, you can actually, if your opponent has like 400 points less and you have a dragon monster field, Step Instruction would just win you the game. I've actually done a few times when I did PvP, and actually won me the game. So yeah, I recommend probably picking this up, depending if you're planning on playing PvP or maybe for fun, for a fun deck. I don't know. It's your choice. In terms of how many you pick this up, probably 1 to 2. 3 is not recommended. 1 to 2 is probably the best amount. I only have 1, so I'm planning on getting another one soon because I'm still trying to get stuff from this box when I have more gems. Also, the card that everyone wants in PvP, and also you play for casual as well, depending, is Mirror Wall. Mirror Wall is probably the most used, one of the most used cards in, depending if you're making a trapless deck. Mirror Wall is probably one of the most played cards in PvP. So what this card does is your opponent monsters attack, and you can actually activate this card during the attack declaration or during the damage step as well. So it's really, really strong. And what it does is it's half your opponent's attacking monsters attack, half the attacking monsters attack. My god, that was hard to say. But yeah, it's really, really good. Also, during each of your standby phases, you pay 2,000 life points to make it remain on the field for another turn. One reason why that's actually good and bad. Bad, you lose 2,000 life points, so you pretty much be on like half your life points, depending if you are on 4,000 or 1,000, depending if you're on 3,000. It activates your skills, because some skills require around 1,500 or more, depending on the skill, and this pretty much triggers the skill, so it allows you to activate skills upon when you pay the life points. So yeah, this is one of the really, really good cards if you're playing on picking stuff up from this box. For yeah, what else is good? Anti-meta is probably good for Leotard, but you rarely see it nowadays. It's like you rarely, you pretty much rarely see this if unless you're playing against an anti-meta deck. Anti-meta means non-meta. Sorry. What else is good? There's also good dinosaur support in this. It's not bad if you're playing using Rex for this. It's not bad. Also, if you're using Kyber Beatdown for peak performance, dragons come in here as well, so it's really, really nice. I think that's it from this box. There's nothing really that much you can get in a way. Yeah, that's pretty much it. There's not really that much. I don't see anything that's useful in here. You can actually get Meteor Dragon, and also Meteor Black Dragon is good for fusion stuff if you're playing. If you have Joey, you can actually get stuff from this and make a Meteor Black Dragon fusion type of deck. It's not bad, it's pretty good. As well, Flamer Tyrant. Let's see, what's the good stuff? If you're playing making a mill deck, yeah, I know mill, that no one wants a mill deck. Warm Worm is probably the most sought out card from this mini box. So if you're playing on making a mill deck, you need 3 of this. So you require at least probably maybe 3 resets if you're playing if you're playing or not paying. This is more of a free of, so you have to keep resetting in the box depending on how many you get during the time, or how quick you get during the time. Also comes with Venus as well, Agent of Creation Venus. This card's good in terms of its spam ability, and also for the draw power as well with the White Stone Elephant. I think that's the name of that, I can't remember. Pretty much what it does is if you summon a Shine Ball, it's a normal monster, so which White Elephant's Gift, oh that's the name, use White Elephant's Gift to draw 2 cards by sending the Shine Ball to the Raven. Or you can use Ordered Charge, which I mentioned from the first box, and yeah, you can get pretty much free disruption and stuff like that just by paying 500 life points. Not bad, it's pretty good. Another good card in this box is Golden Apples. This card allows you to, is not bad, it's actually a really good card in terms of saving yourself from getting defeated. But be careful of when you use this, because if you're about to take more than the amount of life points you normally have, this card won't save you. You can't activate it if your life points are 0, because once you hit life points at 0, you can't activate this card. So if your life points are probably around at least 100 or 50 points left, you can actually discard and gain all those life points back. And if you have 2 or 3 golden apples on the field, you can actually gain all those life points back times 3, depending on how many you have on the field. 1 to 3, depending. So the more you have, the more you gain back. Also, another good card in this is Sergeant Electro. Really good card. It's more used for stun and also aggro beatdown, because what it does is it allows you to lock down your opponent's face down spells and traps, set spells and traps. So that card's one of the most sought out cards from this box, because it's really important in terms of field control. What else is there? There's not really much in here. It's mostly just fire stuff. Also, you get shine balls as well. I recommend picking at least a place of this. You need 3 of them, and also you need 3 Venuses. So I think you get like 1 per box. So you probably need to do a few more resets. And by the time you get Venus and Warmworm, you'll have enough of each. So and also Sergeant Electro as well. So you have enough of each ones. Now onto the other main box is Valkyrie's Rage. Valkyrie's Rage is interesting. Oops. Oh, this guy's actually, yeah, oops, I tapped on something. But Adhesion Trapple was, before Floodgate Trapple, this was probably the most notable Trapple in the game because it was the only Trapple. What it does is if your opponent summons a monster, you pretty much half the attack. And it's really, really good. Another good cards in this is probably, well, this card's alright. Being Mega Saber, it's not really used as much, but it's more of a one-off, it's not really seen as much. Solar Change is also really good if you're playing on Tribute Summoning quite a bit. Divine Rap's not that bad, it's pretty good. What it does is allows you to discard a card and negate your opponent's effect monster's effect. So it's really good. This one's alright in terms of dark decks, but it's not really that good. Other stuff in here would probably be, if you're playing a Make a Burn deck, please pick this up. You probably need about 2 to 3 of this. I recommend no more than 2 or 3. You can run 2 to 3 depending, but 2 is probably the amount you need. 2 is probably a recommended number. Wild Tornado is also a good card in this because, for one, it's a free spell and trap destruction. It's a trap, so it's a bit slower, but it's also pretty good in terms of its destruction value, because if this card is destroyed and sent to graveyard, you can select 1 face-up card on field and destroy it. It's a mandatory effect, so if you have a monster on your field, be very, very careful, because if your opponent has no monsters on their side of the field, you have to destroy 1 of your face-up cards. So yeah, keep in mind that Wild Tornado has a plus side and also a downside as well. So keep that in mind. This card's being played somewhat sometimes. You rarely see this card, but once you do see it, be very, very careful, because once you set 3 cards, or maybe if your opponent goes first and they set 1 specific card, and you just set 2 cards on your turn, Zigzag can lock you out of 2 of your spell and trap zones. So be very, very careful when dealing with this card, because it can lock you out. Other than that, there's if you're playing and making a holy something, it's a Unhappy Girl farm deck. You need 3 of this, and also you need what's the name of that card? Is it in here? Thunder something. I can't remember what it's called. I don't think it's in here. Is it in here? Don't remember. I don't think it's in here. But it does search out this card, and this card's needed if you're playing and making a Unhappy Girl farm deck, because what it does is if you have Taya's specific ability, Holy Guard, I think it's called. Yeah, pretty much when you attack with this monster, you take no damage. That's only if you have the skill on Holy Guard or something like that. It's one of Taya's skill, which you get, I think, earlier on when you level her up. So yeah, this card's recommended if you're planning on making a farm deck based on her. But be very careful, because some decks can get around this quite easily. So just keep that in mind. Also, if you're playing and making a mill deck, you need Hera's Shadow Scout as well. So this is the other card other than Warmworm that you would probably pick up. But other than that, there's not really that many good cards in here. But yeah, that's pretty much it. This was the other one that you probably go into. Okay. There's not much really that good in this box, so I'd probably avoid this unless you need specific cards from this pack. Like if you want to make Harpies, you would need Birdface or something like that, or if you're planning on using the current event, which is the what's called the set sail for Duelist Kingdom. You need one summon scale, so if you're planning on doing the Duelist Kingdom event, you probably need at least one of this from this box. So I recommend picking this up, and also the Black Skull Dragon as well if you're planning on actually doing the event. So yeah, those are recommend cards, and I also that I think you should pick up in terms of only this box. Big Main Shot's actually kind of interesting because it's played as more of a troll card. What I mean by troll card is, if you equip it to your opponent's monster and you set, yeah, if you have a set monster and it's tricky because this card is really weird worded, because if you equip it to your opponent's monster and you have a set card on the field, depending on how weak your monster is, they take the damage instead, which is really weird in terms of its piercing. So yeah, it says inflict piercing damage to your opponent, so that is interesting. It's a good card. I recommend picking up at least one of this, or one to two of this, depending on if you want to make this. But yeah, that's that. There's not really much in that set that's good. As for Chaotic Compliance, sorry, had to say something straightly. It sounded weird. Let's see. Magic Drain is also an interesting card in this. Fusion Sage is a good card to pick up from this. And if you're planning on making if you're making a budget like, I don't know, Piranha Army. Oh yeah, speaking of which, Piranha Army is also in the other set as well. You probably use it with this other one for a farming deck for Master of Oz fusion type of. Yeah, it's really interesting because you can make a farm deck from it, which you can easily look up later on. And you probably need to pick up Death Kangaroos and stuff. Double Summon's also a card you should probably pick up in this, in case you accidentally make a mistake in terms of when you're farming. But yeah, Double Summons are also good. It depends on the deck as well. But other than this, this is also another card used in mill decks if you're planning on making a mill deck. This is also good. This is also used in a mill deck, and also thins out your deck as well. It's also used in Unhappy Girl and yeah, other decks that require you to search for stuff easily. So yeah, it's not bad. It's pretty good. I recommend picking it up when you get the chance. But other than that, let's see. Oh yeah, this is also used in mill decks as well if you're planning on picking this up. So there's quite a few good cards in this set if you're planning on making mill decks. But I wouldn't recommend it unless you've got the requirements needed. So yeah. But yeah, other than that, it's not that bad. Land of the Titans is also an interesting set. It's more of an Earth type of stuff. There's nothing really much in here that's useful unless you're planning on picking this one up in general. Secure Orb is also, if you don't have Sphere Karibo, this is pretty much the equivalent for it. So what it does is, it's a trap though. That's the only thing that you have to worry about. But you can only activate Sphere Karibo during your opponent's attack phase anyway. So Secure Orb is really good. This also was a good card during the Harpy format, because if they use Harpy's Hunting Ground to destroy this card, you can destroy one card your opponent controls. So if you run into Harpies or anything that destroys spells and traps on your opponent's side of the field and destroy your Security Orb, you can destroy one card your opponent controls. So yeah, it's one monster your opponent controls. It's really good. But other than this, there's not really much in here. It's mostly stuff that you would find for farming or anything that's of use for events in general if you're planning on getting more points and stuff. But yeah, that's not really much in there if you're a beginner. In this set, it's interesting. It's zombie support, and if you want to make a zombie set, this card's I recommend picking this up. The stuff from this if you're playing making zombies. But anyway, this card is alright in terms of, it's not played at the moment, but I believe it has some interesting factor about Vampire Lord. It's okay, but sometimes it's not okay. because it requires you to do certain things to activate its effects. So yeah, Gozuki is really good if you're making a red eye zombie deck or a zombie deck in general. Pick this up if you're playing and making zombies. You kind of need this, even though it's an ultra. It's like one per box, but I recommend picking up at least 1 to 2 or 3 of this, depending on how many you need. You can get away with 1 easily, but 2 or more is probably recommended if you're playing and making zombies in general. Also making red eyes wyvern's really good. I think you should pick up at least 1 to 3 of this. Two is probably the minimum at least. 1's okay, I suppose. If also making Buster Blader type of build, Dark Paladin is also recommended as well. You can get Buster Blader and stuff in here as well. So if you want to make a Buster Blader type of fusion deck, these 2 cards are really good. But other than that, also this card's used in Agent deck as well, the Shine Balls and stuff. So yeah, you can get Buster Blade stuff in here easily. Yeah, you can get Buster Blade as well. Red Eye stuff, you can get cards as Redstone. This is pretty much a trade-in, so you pretty much trade one of your level 7 Red Eyes monsters from your hand to the graveyard to draw 2 cards. So yeah, it's really good. Some more. This is also good for activation negations, so I recommend picking this up if you're planning on using it for future budget purposes. There's also good Hunter support in here as well, which is really good. It's an interesting normal summon spam deck. It's not bad. You could probably make a deck around it. It's not bad. It's pretty good in terms of the format, depending. And also, if you're playing dinosaurs, you need to pick this up because it's really good for with Rex's skill with the Jurassic World, I think, set. So it's really good. The Jurassic World skill. But other than this, there's not really that many good cards in this. But yeah, that's pretty much it for that one. Just give me a second, I'm gonna take a quick drink. Okay, probably this is one of the best mini boxes in terms of how it was shaped, because you can make Sacred Phoenix. Now what this does is, it allows you to destroy all spell traps on the field when it's special summoned by its own effect. So it's really good. If you're playing and making Phoenix or Naturias or anything like that, this is probably the best box you can get. There's a lot of good meta-worthy decks at the moment. What I mean by meta-worthy is it's really quick and strong, and it does a lot of damage in one turn. Tribute to Doom is also a really good card in this. So these 2 cards, the 2 ultra rares, are actually the best cards out of this box. So if you're planning on getting stuff from this box, I recommend getting at least both of these if you're planning on using stuff in the future. There's also good zombie support in here, which is really good. Heavy Knight of Flame, which is really good in terms of its beat stick value, and also its special effect, which banishes opponents' special summon monster when it attacks, so it's really good. This card is probably one of the best cards at the moment in terms of easy to get, because Super Rush Headlong allows you to destroy during the damage step opponent's monster. Because what it does is you declare an attribute type and you target your opponent, you target your monster and declare a type attribute. Declare an attribute, and anything any monster that has the attribute that you declared gets destroyed at the start of the damage step. So you save your monster and you pretty much destroy your opponent's monster. So Super Rush Headlong is a must if you're planning on getting stuff from this set. It's a free of, well, not really a free of, but it's more to 2 to 3 ofs. I recommend picking a place of this in case if you don't have enemy controller. This is probably one of the best cards from this box, but it requires a face-up monster that you control. So be aware that this card has its ups and downs, but its ups are actually outweigh the downs. So yeah. Magical Exemplar is actually not bad. It's good for spell counter type of deck as well. If you want to make a spell counter deck, this card's probably recommended if you want to pick this up. Probably pick up 3 of this if you're planning on making a spell counter deck. Fire King as well. You can make Fire King. This synergizes well with the Sacred Phoenix, as you can destroy Sacred Phoenix in the hand or on the field, and you can pretty much trigger its effect on your next standby phase. So it's really good. Good Interior support as well in this. You can pretty much pick up all the Interior stuff from this box, and yeah, you can make a pretty good deck with this because it's Interior decks, since they're mostly just very aggro, so they're always face up on the field rather than you set them on the field. So it combos well with Super Rush Headlong, so you can pretty much make a really good deck with just this box alone. This card's also synergized well with nature, anything with Sacred Phoenix, and also anything that has even attack and defense. So if you have a monster that has around 2000 attack and 2000 defense, or 2400 attack and 1600 defense, or vice versa, or stuff like that. I don't know, 1500 attack or 2500 defense. Anything that matches your life points to your monster's attack and defense. This card's really good for searching. So yeah, I recommend picking this up at free, since it's a normal card. You can actually get this really easy. So yeah. Also, this card is good for fitting at your deck. But yeah, also you get Fire King Island, which searches out your Yaksha, and also allows you to special summon this easily from the hand for free. So yeah, I recommend picking this up if you're planning on making Fire Kings. Sacred Phoenix deck in general. For Electric Overlord? Overlord or Overload? Overload, I don't know. This set it's okay in terms of it's more of a Thunder support, and also ninja support as well. So this card, I would recommend picking this up I recommend you picking this up if you're making ninjas. It's one of the best cards from this. People play around 1 to 3 of, but most decks I've seen nowadays run 3 of this. So yeah, you should probably pick this up if you're planning on getting stuff from this box in general, or if you're making ninjas actually. So yeah. This card's a must if you're making ninjas. What else is there? This card's good if you're making Thunder support from the previous set, the Hunters. So yeah, if you're making, I don't know why Thunder, it took me a while to figure it out. Hunters, like, it's got Thunder in it. Hunters is good for this. So it's good Thunder type of support for this set. And it also comes with XYZ type of stuff. So yeah, I recommend picking that up if you're planning on getting this set. Comes with good Frog support as well, and also Mecha Phantom Beast as well, which is machine type of stuff as well, now that I think about it. But yeah, it's good Thunder support in a way, but yeah, machine and Thunder support, that's not bad, it's pretty good. Now, this set is pretty good as well. It's the Echoes of Silence. The main chase cards of this set is the Silent Magician level 8, and Silent Magician level 4. This card, this is currently one of the better decks at the moment in PvP, because it allows you to, it becomes unaffected by your opponent's spells effects. So yeah, it's really good. And yeah, it's a good 3500 beat stick as well if you play Level Up, which you can get in this box. Level Up is needed if you're making a level deck, and probably this mini box is the best in terms of making a level up type of deck. So you can get level up type of stuff in this really easily. Yeah, simple. Silent Magician level 4 as well. You can easily level up to level 8, or you can use the ultimate insect as well. So it's really good, but it's not recommended. I wouldn't recommend getting this. Actually, well, you can do what you want. It's not bad. It's not really that bad, but it's not as good as well, because it's easy to get around. The most meta-wise is probably the Silent Magician ones. But yeah, it also comes with really good beat sticks with Galagiko. And yeah, It's not bad. It's pretty good if you're making a level up type of deck, but other than that, also good spell counters as well. Making a spell counter based deck. So yeah, that's all that's in there, and also Generation Next. You can make a pretty good Horus deck with this. Also, the chase cards from this, if you're making heroes or anything like that, is King of Swamp. King of Swamp is recommended if you're making anything fusion deck related. So yeah, King of Swamp is a must if you're playing and making fusion deck, because it becomes one of its names in a way. But be careful of what you use this for, because some fusion monsters do not use King of Swamp or can be substituted for King of Swamp, because it doesn't specify its own name. So if it specify, like, I don't know, let's say Red Eyes Black Dragon, sorry, Meteor Black Dragon requires a Meteor Dragon and also Red Eyes Black Dragon, you can use King of Swamp for one of its names for that material. But if it's like a Jama King or a Jama Knight, you can use it for Jama King, you just can't use it for Jama Knight, because a Jama Knight requires 2 Jama monsters, and King of Swamp isn't a Jama monster. So yeah, be very in mind of you have to read the cards carefully depending on what you use for the fusions. You can make a pretty good Arcane Knight Joker for this as well. Deck as well. Also, one of the most best cards at the moment for trap cards is Floodgate Trap Hole. Floodgate Trap Hole is probably one of the chase cards of the set, and yeah, I recommend picking up this probably around 2 to 3 of, because this card is definitely needed if you're playing competitively, because it allows you to make opponent's monster, when they're summoned, get switched to face down the event's position, and they can't change it to face up. They can't change its battle position basically, so it's really good. But yeah, that's all for the ultras. If you're playing Horus, you should pick up the Horus stuff. You can probably get away with just getting at least one of these boxes. So yeah, with one of this, you can probably get away with one of this, but 1 to 2 ofs, depending on your favorites. And you can get 2 of these as well from the same box. So yeah, I recommend getting stuff from here if you're planning on building stuff from this. So yeah, Horus is a really good deck if you're playing competitively at the moment. Yeah, other than that, there's not really that much in here. Yeah, there's not really much in here that's actually that good. Some cards are, if you're making a Queen's Knight or King's Knight, King's Queen's Knight, King Knight Joker deck, it's recommended to picking this stuff up if you're planning on making that deck. I pick it up just in case if you're planning on making that in the future, but it's kind of slow, just be very in mind. So you have to protect most of your monsters. Anyway, on to the current last set, Servant of Kings. This is the newest one at the moment, and yeah, Dark Magician Chaos is probably the chase card of this box, but it's not used at the moment. It's more of a fan favorite. So if you're planning on picking this up, go ahead. It's a really nice card. If you can summon it out, and you can use Birthright and stuff with combo with this, it actually works pretty well. You can take out your opponent pretty fast. You can make Handless Blade Knight. Yeah, actually, it works really well in Handless because it becomes a 2k monster, and also it negates effect monsters if you have no cards in your hand. Oh wait, no, if you have no monsters on the field. So yeah, it negates full effect monsters with the only card on your field, monster on the field. So yeah, it's really up and down. It's good. It's not really the best. This is good for Jamas or anything that requires you to search for monsters level 4 lower. It's really good. Forbidden Shouts is also really good if you're planning on shutting down opponent's effect monsters. Now this card, Wall of Disruption, if you're planning on playing competitively, I recommend picking this up. This is probably the newest version of Mirror Wall, because what it does is, it makes your opponent, when your opponent's monsters attack, depending on how many monsters they have on their side of the field, all your opponent's monsters lose 800 attack per monster they control. So if they have 3 monsters on the field, all the opponent's monsters lose 2400 attack. Be wary that they have to be face up, so they lose 2400 points. Actually no, it depends on how many opponent controls, but opponent's monsters control. But if they're face up, they lose attack. So that's the only thing that you have to worry about. And yeah, it's a good card. It's probably a needed card if you're playing and picking up, if you're playing competitively. This is probably a 2 to 3 of because you don't want to draw it all the time, but once you do draw it, oh, it's really good when it goes off. Because you summon a monster in attack position, they think it's a mirror wall, but when you activate this card, if your opponent has like a field full of monsters, depending on how many monsters they have in the field, and also depending on how many attack your opponent has, they lose 2400 attack, and yeah, that can lead to instant defeat. So yeah, recommend picking that up if you're planning on playing competitively. Draining Shield's also a nice card in this set as well, because it's probably one of the first. Actually, it might be the first. Yeah, it's the first negate attack, I guess you could say, because what it does is it negates the attack, and then you gain life points equal to that monster's attack. So yeah, it's really good. I recommend picking it up. Also, from the set, Birthright is also another good card in this, because what it does is it allows your okay, you special summon one of your normal monsters in your graveyard in face-up attack position, but when it leaves the field, it destroys monsters. But other than that, it's really good if you're playing a normal high attack point monster beatdown, I guess you could say. It's really good. It's one of the most sought out cards from this set. So if you're playing getting stuff from the set, I recommend picking up Birthright. What else is there? If playing a Dark Magician of Chaos deck, this guy's probably recommended picking this up, because it's really good if you're playing on using Birthright combo with this. Yeah, this guy's also good if you're playing or planning on making a Beast Warrior, or Wing Beast, even if it has Beast in this type, allows you to inflict piercing damage. So yeah, it's really good. What piercing damage is, if you attack a defense position monster with a high attack position monster, they pretty much take damage equal to getting attack and attack. So it deals the difference between attack and attack, but instead it deals the difference between attack and defense. So yeah, it's really good. And if you're planning on making Mystic Swordsman, it's okay. It's pretty slow. It's not the best, but you have to pretty much set up a field and protect all your Mystic Swordsmen, because the level 4 higher ones, they can't be normal summoned, they have to be flip summoned. Or if you have a hero emerges, which is from the Jaden structure deck, you can easily summon these out easily, because they don't have a clause saying you can't special summon this from the hand, or it can't be special summoned in general. It just can't be normal summoned, but you can normal set. So yeah, I recommend picking this up if you're planning on making Silent Swordsman, Mystic Swordsman. Holy moly! But yeah, Silent Swordsman was the last set. But yeah, this set's not bad. It's pretty good. Swordsman level 6. It's really good if you. This card's really good, because what it does, if it destroys opponent's monster, it goes to the top of the deck. So yeah, it's really good. But other than that, that's pretty much all I have to say for this current set at the moment. Well, what we've got at the moment for the booster boxes and structure decks and stuff. But yeah, this is DCRS here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you guys in my next video. Signing out. See ya.